but they are doing so in trying to put forward male figures, Tim Walz being one of them, Doug Emhoff last night, who can speak to men out there who might not be the sort of testosterone-laden,
For me, the Democratic Party emasculates black men. Wow. And I think Hispanic men probably feel the same way. And I say this because they weaponize identity.
I understand zesty Roland Martin, who I got kicked off of News One Now for hating. His views dropped and he got dropped. Zesty Rolanda fell off after he tried to come for the Prince of Pan-Africanism. His views dropped and News One Now dropped that receding hairline, no neck Negro. I'ma deal with zesty Rolanda. I'ma deal with that Democratic Party plantation slave driver.
Dr. Umar was calling Roland zesty a long time ago. Well, it looks like that's been confirmed. Angela Stanton put everybody on alert after Roland made a mistake on his live stream and exposed himself. He was on a Labor Day stream from his personal laptop, and after playing a clip of Kamala's CNN interview, he made a mistake and showed another clip that was on his computer of a man with no clothes on, that man's behind fully exposed. Angela Stanton recorded that clip before Roland was able to edit it out, and she wrote this right here. She said, Democrat Roland Martin forgot to edit this clip. We were all forced to watch his love and admiration for black male behinds as they casually scrolled across the screen. I told y'all in a post I wrote a few weeks back that 90% of the men I know that still represent or support the Democrat Party are gay. Watch how mad he gets when he finds out it aired. How much more proof do you need? It's time to save our men and boys. So Angela, she posted that. I won't be showing that video here, but if you want to see it for whatever reason, the link is below. Now, it definitely wasn't lost on me that almost all of the black Democrat defense team, if they're male, they come off very feminine. They talk like females, their mindset is like a female, and that's who the Democrats keep pushing in front of us to tell us what to do. These feminine men like Roland Martin, Bakari Sellout, Van Jones, Don Lemon, Ricky Smiley, D.L. Hughley, and any other black man they prop up to supposedly represent the black community or be the pretend leader. He's either flaming hot like Billy Porter or undercover flaming like Andrew Gillum. It's always one or the other. For years now, the Democrat Party made a major push for strong independent women to lead the party and to be followed by docile emasculated men like Van Jones and Roland Martin. They want to take women's femininity away and everything that comes with womanhood and give that to men. Like Tim Walz putting tampons in the boys' bathrooms in his state. The Democrats are attempting to redefine masculinity as they target and destroy any sign of manhood in men.
There has been a lot of talk about masculinity and MAGAism trying to own masculinity in the most regressive sort of misogynist way possible. J.D. Vance lecturing everybody on, what a family means, what it means to be a man. Donald Trump obviously has his own version of manhood. To see Tim Walz out there as a man who is just joyfully embracing his role as the potential vice president to the nation's first female president is an extraordinary thing. But also to see his son weeping for his father in a deeply tender and emotional way. And then the last thing I'll say, because I think this hasn't been talked about enough, to see Democrats champion men as voices on reproductive choice.
Yeah. And by the way, and I love that you're saying that, because this is about modern masculinity.
Yes. Yeah.
And in the Democratic Party, the coach that is saying that it's important for him as the football coach to be the faculty partner for the LGBTQ
Gay
club,
Straight Alliance.
The Gay Straight Alliance. And he's like, that's something important for me to do, because if a coach is doing it, it's going to have just a little more salience, right? And it's going to help kids not get bullied. I mean, what's really been fascinating is to watch the men of the Democratic Party model a kind of masculinity that is simply 21st century masculinity.
Speaking of 21st century masculinity, how about that? How about
that as a setup?
That lead in? We got Senator Cory Booker.
I was like, who's it going to be?
Who could it be? But
yeah, we did that.
The 21st century man himself.
Yeah.
This right here was wild, by the way. They're talking about 21st century masculinity being represented by Teletubbies, and then this stuffed animal appeared.
Senator Booker, tonight was your night as chairing the events.
Yes.
We're talking about this kind of redefinition of masculinity in the wake of a Republican National Convention that offered a very reductive vision to the country. What'd you make of Coach Walz tonight?
You know, there's a deep decency and kindness about him. And I said this to somebody, it actually is the perfect handoff, because the Joe Biden I got to know during the 2020 presidential campaigns, I always say when somebody's nice to you but not nice to the waiter, they're not a nice person.
Real talk.
And that is Joe Biden, but I'm telling you, that is Governor Walz too.
They're nice to the waiters.
Yeah.
They are nice to the waiters. They have this love in them that you could feel before you hear. I wish America could have seen when he came backstage and was just embraced by all the football guys hanging out there. It was this love huddle. Like as a former football player, it was a love huddle back there. The genuineness of their connection, of their affection. A bunch of guys huddled up in a love huddle.
For me, the Democratic Party emasculates black men. And I think Hispanic men probably feel the same way. And I say this because they weaponize identity. When and where we enter, who we are, how we identify is important to who we are, just like our fingerprints. But if you're not going to use my identity to advance a social justice cause, and you're just going to use my identity as a blunt force object, now I got a problem. And so what the Democratic Party does, they put black women on a pedestal and they say, we're the mothers of the movement, or we saved the party. But yet you don't put forth policies that save black babies. You don't put forth policies that deal with the maternal death rate of black women and black babies in the United States of America. You don't do those things that lift and edify. Yes, identity is important. Both parties use it differently. So when I talk to black men across this country, they don't see themselves in this party. It's one thing to recognize the power and prowess of black women and the sacrifices that we make. It is another thing to put us above black men. The black struggle, black men and black women have to be together. We don't have the luxury to be separated. And so I resent the Democratic Party for doing that. And so black men do not see themselves in the party. That bravado, because we got a kind of masculine energy, and masculine energy is not all bad, but the type of bravado that Trump puts forward is still very much rooted in a hierarchical patriarchy. And a lot of men gravitate to that.
Deviance is all catching hell in 2024. It's up for all of them. It don't matter if you Diddy or whoever you is. TG Jakes, any of them. All lies will be exposed. That's all. And anyone who takes that the wrong way, know why they take it the wrong way.
The Democrats are recruiting men to be power bottoms. This is why straight masculine men are running away from these people. Some being completely turned off from the whole process, and they're deciding not to support anybody. Then you have others looking at the Dems' opponents, from Republicans to third-party candidates. But if you want to know why the Democrats have an issue with straight masculine men, this is why. They're trying to make Cory Booker and Roland Martin the face of what they're calling the 21st century masculine man, redefining these men to Barney and Teletubbies. And no, it's not just black men. A lot of straight men are being turned off by this party demonizing masculinity and destroying families. Let's go ahead and get the conversation started. Let me know what you think about this below. Special thank you to my sister Sonia G. I appreciate you, Sonia, for all of your support, as well as my sister Francine. Shout out to Big Sneed, Earl, Ike Fob, Roland C, and Rob P. Don't forget that you can support this channel as well. Links to Cash App and PayPal are below. Ladies, fellas, want a balanced analysis, want the truth from a woman's perspective? Then you're going to want to subscribe to this channel, and don't forget to like and share.